My name is Stephen Kalungu, and I'm the country director at Give Directly Kenya. We are a non-profit, and what we do is that we allow donors to be able to send money directly to the vulnerable populations. When it comes to the developing world, and for countries specifically like Kenya, the biggest question outside is, can basic income be a way out of poverty? That is one of the main projects of Give Directly. And it's a 12-year experiment, implementing the project since 2017. With the word universal, it means that you're targeting everyone. The benefiting recipients are receiving on a rolling basis. And so we have a total of 300 villages that are participating in the project. And in terms of absolute number of beneficiaries, there are 20,000 of them. And currently the beneficiaries are receiving Kenya shillings 2,950. After 4 years of implementation of the project so far, beneficiaries do report significant improvements in their families as a result of this, and improvements pulled all the way from improved health outcomes. People are reporting better psychological well-being. Beneficiaries are reporting improved food security outcomes as a result of the project. There is a lot of reports that these transfers are going to finance education, not just for the beneficiaries alone, but even by extension to their children and even to other siblings. Their businesses there, they are booming. The project, to a large extent, has been very impactful on the lives of the beneficiaries. That is resources allowing, and also putting into context the other evidence gaps that it is spoken about, and that is scaling the project to be able to respond of how will it perform in a rural versus an urban setting, and also take into account what are some of the national considerations that needs to be done as we implement this project.
In the Finnish basic income experiment that was running 2017-2018, we had 2,000 unemployed persons who got 560 euros per month for free. The government that launched the experiment, they wanted to see if basic income is good for employment and if it increases employment rate in this country. But then we had also other goals to study if it will somehow make people stronger, that if there's a kind of empowerment effect and if there are health effects and other welfare effects. As regards employment effects, there were no major employment effects. It seemed to be so that those people who were getting basic income they had a little bit better confidence in themselves and confidence in their monetary situation and confidence in their future. I think that there were very strong points in the experiment, so that it was a nationwide, it was randomized, and it was rather a big experiment with compulsory or obligatory participation. But of course the problem is that we had only unemployed persons there, and it lasted only 2 years. 2 years is too short. I would say that what we need is a decent basic security. People should have a basic minimum level of income so that they can survive. But it doesn't need to be basic income.
네, 안녕하세요. 저는 기본소득 한국 네트워크 이사장을 맡고 있는 안효상이라고 합니다. 그 중에 하나가 경기도 청년 기본소득 같은 것이라고 할 수 있겠습니다. 그래서 경기도에 거주하는 24세 청년에게 1년 동안 연 100만 원을 지역 화폐로 지급하는 것. 그랬을 때 기본소득의 기본적인 아이디어가 사람들에게 경제적인 보장을 함으로써 뭔가 사람들이 좀 더 자율적으로 뭔가를 할 수 있게 뭐 이런 거라는 것에 좀 더 착안해서 경기도 청년 기본소득 수급자들을 대상으로 한 이제 뭐 설문조사, 그다음에 이제 인터뷰 뭐 이런 것들을 통해서 이제 알 수 있는 것들은 어쨌든 하나는 이제 뭐 시간의 사용, 저희가 이제 예를 들면 뭔가를 소득을 벌기 위해서 뭐 일을 더 해야 되는데, 예를 들면 기본소득이 생겨서 뭐 그만큼 일을 적게 한다든지 뭐 이런 부분에서도 약간의 변화가 있고요. 근데 이제 그거보다 더 중요한 것들은 자신의 삶에 대한 어쨌든 물론 이제 주관적인 의식의 변화이긴 한데 뭐 자율성이 더 확대됐다든가. 청년 기본소득만 가지고 당장 해결하기는 되게 이제 사실은 어렵고요. 근데 길게 보면 기본소득이 필요할 수밖에 없는 상황에 점점점 우리가 가고 있는 것 아닌가. 여러 가지 예를 들면 경제 환경의 변화라든가 아니면 뭐 그 생태적인 변화 이런 것 속에서 사람들이 좀 더 적게 일하면서도 안정적으로 일하면서 그다음에 좀 더 의미 있는 일을 하는